Hi, this is Apex IFSA CEO Dr. Joe Leader. I'm here today in front of the Viasat booth, and I'm honored to be joined by Viasat's Vice President and General Manager of Commercial Aviation, Don Buchman. Don, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Appreciate you come by.
So, let me ask a hard question to begin.
Oh boy.
As we look at all of the new LEO competitors coming online, you're going to see a tremendous shift in the marketplace where you have all this high bandwidth, low Earth orbiting connectivity. How is that going to impact Viasat, which of course has a geo presence? It's very strong, but this is going to be coming in hard and hot.
Yeah, we've looked at it, right? So it's a good question, right? So the competition, first the competition from our current providers is very strong. It's very strong. You see it on the show floor here this week. We've been competing with each other for over 10 years. Now with the new entrants, we expect it. It's a big market. It's a very good market to come in, a lot of demand for it. And I think what we've always differentiated, we haven't changed for 10 years. We thought the failure mechanism was always demand density, which means I need to have a lot of capacity, but it can't be evenly spread around the world. It has to be over a certain area is where the peaks of demand are. And the failure mechanism, if supply runs out. It's not the technology, it's supply. So we've been focusing our satellites on that. We're watching what they're doing. We still think we're solving the right problem. We still think our technology and our solution's the best. And so we relish the competition coming in, but they are coming in hot and heavy.
They are indeed. And one question I have about that, Don, is how about polar coverage? Since we have so many flights where that's always an area of challenge for airlines and for their customers.
Yeah, now there's solutions coming out, right? So that is an attribute of the low Earth orbits. They'll be able to cover the poles. So that's where we could actually be complementary, right? Use them for the poles, but there's also what's called highly elliptical orbits, HEOs. And what they do is they cover the pole, you can have a couple in tandem, and there's some new systems coming online that allow us to sort of maintain our geo focus and access those for the few routes that do go over the pole, so you can have continuous connectivity.
That's really great. So I know that one of the new things that Viasat's really sharing with the airlines and sharing with the marketplace, the Viasat 3 plate. Tell us about that.
Viasat 3 is exciting, right? So the end of this year, it's been a long road. We've been developing it. It's a terabit per second, 3 satellite constellation, each being a terabit per second, right? So we've upped the game, right? So Viasat 1 was 140 gigabits. Viasat, the fastest at the time when it launched it in 2011. Viasat 2 was 7 times the coverage area and double the bandwidth of Viasat 1. So those are a compromise, either coverage or capacity or not both. We changed that paradigm. Viasat 3, each one is 1/3 of the Earth visible with a terabit of capacity, so tripling the capacity and expanding to the entire visible Earth. So what we're able to do is flex the bandwidth, put it where it's needed, serve multiple markets, residential, energy, maritime, aviation. Really exciting, but also put it where the peak demand is over time.
Well, in terms of peak demand, let me ask you, because Delta has been committing to provide free internet access for its customers. As you look forward, I don't want to speak specifically about Delta, I want to speak about available bandwidth.
Yes.
Will there be the available bandwidth on aircraft that have unlimited internet to really satisfy both business and personal users to be able to have as close to an on-the-ground experience as possible?
Yeah, and that's the bet we've made, right? That's what we expect. That's what we thought the market was going. So that's what we've been building our satellites for. We've been doing it to date. JetBlue launched free 2013. December of 2013, they've been doing free to everybody. Full streaming, full everything. Qantas in Australia has been doing it. La Compagnie, a small operator out of doing transatlantic flights. So we relish free. In fact, that's where we thought the market was going. That's what we've been planning for. Because that's what we're building our satellites for. We thought demand's going up. It's insatiable demand from people, devices, and the aircraft itself. So we've been betting on that. And so as airlines talk about it, we're expecting it, and that's what we're ready for.
Combining what we have in connectivity with what we have on the aircraft, we have so much content that we need to load in terms of licensed content. And the dream has always been remote loading and also data caching if someone is utilizing a streaming service. Instead of 20 people downloading the same new movie on the aircraft, having one stream serve those 20 customers for that particular flight. Do you see in the near future the ability for airlines to remote load all of their massive content where we're talking about a terabyte refresh? How close are we to that?
So actually we're already doing it, right? So we do it for our wireless IV customers. So we have a lot of customers that take our product with connectivity, run the movies off our server, and we do the content freshes in the background for them with a zero touch, true zero touch. Just shows up, we just plan it, we get the content loads to a CSP, and we just download it over the air in a very efficient manner such that it's never seen by anyone, never seen by the passenger or the airline. So we've got, on our server, we've got a connected platform, right? So we've got CPU, and we can host applications. So now we can interface with anyone just through an API. So whoever their content provider is and whoever their CPAC provider is, if they want to get that content, we, through a simple background process, we can get the content there through an interface, and they can get it remotely loaded however they want. They can manage it themselves.
That's really perfect. How do you see, Don, as we look forward 5 years, since Apex Expo really looks at the future of the travel experience, how do you see the connectivity that you're providing transforming the marketplace for our airlines and their customers?
Well, I mean, I think you've already seen a lot of it, right? You've seen like just the streaming, like I'll watch, bring my content, right? Instead of picking the movie and being curated, which is still important, right? First run movies are still important, but also I want to catch up with my show on whatever your subscription of choice is. It might be Prime, it might be Amazon, or it might be Netflix.
Right.
Do the catch up. So it's a combination of those, and then we're seeing Bluetooth being integrated with the CPAC. Next, can I get my content integrated with the CPAC, right? So I can watch mine on that great screen in front of me versus my personal device. Both are, to each their own. You can use either one.
Right.
I think that's happening. I think you're seeing a lot of transformation from the ground to the air. Right now, when I get in an airplane, the mentality is, I'm in an airplane. I'm in a Wi-Fi free zone. So I can't get good connectivity as a mentality. That we've been trying to change that.
Right.
And we see that transformation, coffee shop, home, in the taxi, the train, to the airport, in the lounge, in the gate area, on the plane. It should be a continuous flow. You shouldn't have to change your mentality.
I agree. One of the things we're seeing in terms of having IFE screens and also connectivity on board, we're seeing utilization patterns that match the home, where people are using the screen in front of them for unique content and then scrolling through their phone and using that connectivity to view social media, to engage with friends. Do you see these as complementary like you would in a home environment?
Most definitely. I mean, I think you can do it, wireless IP is the same, right? You can do it on that, or you can do it with a screen. So there's not one solution for all, but it's definitely it's just like your family room. Nothing changed in your family room. The big television is still there. The only thing that changed is what's feeding it. It used to be a cable box, now it's an internet TV box.
Right.
It might be a Roku or it might be an Apple TV, but you're still feeding it off the internet. It's still content that's coming over. And you can do it on your device or you can do it on the big television. So I see the CPAC screen as the family room television. And my device is the thing I'm on the go. I'm just going to use the most comfortable one that suits you.
That's a great great note to end on, Don. Thank you so much
Joe.
for taking the time. Congratulations
Thank you.
on an incredibly successful show and year.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.